Okay, well, welcome everyone to the Q4 Milwaukee Tableau user group meeting. Please let us know who you are in the chat and where you're from. Are you from the area? Are you joining us in this awesome virtual world that we are able to share in now? Excited to bring you a functionality in Tableau for writing back. Um, Very excited about this opportunity for myself and my company and to share the team with you. And we'll uh, wait a minute or two here, make sure that we have everyone joining. All right. Hello, Patty from the north side. Welcome, everyone, to the Q4 meeting. Please let us know where you are sitting right now watching. Hey, Nick McAfee. Nice to see you. And yep, so I think maybe the right back team in Portugal may win for the furthest away, but we'll see. But we have had participants from farther away before. So let's see, Green Bay and Madison, awesome. Looking forward to an insightful meeting today. Also going to do some Tableau trivia, and my favorite part, one of my favorite parts, is the Tableau swag giveaway. So we'll be rounding out the meeting with the giveaway. All right, welcome everyone. Uh, let's give it just a little more time here and then we'll get going. Maybe everyone is grabbing their lunch, coming back to their desk. Crispin. All right. Yes. So we're in the chat now. Tell us uh, your weekend plans. Tell us where you're sitting. Where are you hailing from? Once we do get into the presentations, we'll want you to go ahead and use the Q&A. So let's keep the chat for some fun discussions. If you see someone you haven't seen in a while, logging in, hey, Chris Bick, how are you? And then again, we'll use the Q&A for questions. We're going to want you to ask questions throughout during the presentations. We are going to, the hair dryer. Or the dryer, not the hair dryer. We're going to watch who's participating, and those people will be in the drawing for the swag giveaways. So you're going to be getting the ability to get something from the Tableau store. Again, one of my favorite things. Always use a T-shirt. Okay, well, let's go ahead. Oh, yay. Yes, Thanksgiving. College students. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and introduce the leadership team. So the leadership team is Brandy Beals, Patrick, myself, and Mark. And we are excited to be bringing this event to you, and we shop around to try to find the most interesting things happening. And with your feedback, hosting a Viz event or learning what's new and great from Tableau. And with that in mind, we would like to open up the team. So if you are interested in joining the leadership team of the Milwaukee Tug, please let us know. You can email us at mketug@gmail.com. Um, and I would say that the Patrick and Brandy, who have been doing the Milwaukee Tug for quite a while, have a pretty good system down, and I know was able to help me, and I'm sure Mark join the team and fit right in. So as you know, we have kind of a standard now in the virtual world. Even we have the standard agenda and time frame now that we like to meet, and love having so many return members come, and we always have the pleasure of having some new members as well. So please let us know if you want to reach out to any one of us to find out, what's the real scoop, how's it really going, how much work do we really have to do. That'd be great, and we will be very honest with you, and it's awesome. I will tell you that right away. So okay, let's get to our agenda. So we're going to start with a poll to find out who you all are. And then we're going to learn about write back. So write back is an extension that allows you to input data directly through the dashboard, through the Tableau dashboard. And after we hear from the write back team, Julia and I are going to talk about how we see write back helping us, how it's helped us so far. We'll talk about upcoming events. We're going to do some trivia, and again, we have prizes. Let's see. So remember to participate through the Q&A. And I will I'll start the poll here. But if you would like to go ahead and access through the QR code, you can also access through the URL up above. You will then be able to participate in our polling. So I will leave this here for just a bit and see if I can get this into the chat. Oh, no, never mind. I have it somewhere else. Okay, if you all are ready, I will let Patrick take over and we will take a look at the poll. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yep. All right, 1 second here.
Yes, and Brandy has added the URL to the chat window.
Oh, thank you.
For anybody that wants to copy that and paste it right into their browser.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, so let's go ahead and start the poll. And Patrick, I'll let you take over.
Okay. Are you able to?
Do you see the poll? So sorry.
Not yet.
So,
not yet.
Yeah, Olga, you'll need to jump. I don't know what you did when you shared your screen.
Okay.
But if you just selected like PowerPoint, for example, we won't be able to see anything other than PowerPoint.
Okay.
But if you shared your entire window, you need to just bring the poll to the window that you're screen sharing from.
Okay, I'm going to have to go back. I apologize for that. And I'm going to have to share again. Okay, are you able to see?
Yeah,
Nice.
there we go. Okay,
There we go.
so all right. So for those of you that joined the poll, you've already answered the first question, but yeah, this is just to get us at an idea of how many people have attended our user group meetings in the past, or if you're brand new. Looks like we have several people who have attended before, so welcome back. And if this is your first time attending, welcome. We're very excited to have you here. I'm very excited to have you joining our user group meeting, and hope to see you at future meetings.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and go to the next question. So we're also interested in knowing if you've attended other Tableau user group meetings. The answers are kind of truncated here, but wanted to know if you've attended the other ones that are with our sister user groups across the state of Wisconsin. There's a Madison user group. There's a Wisconsin at large user group. I believe there might have been one in, or may still be one in Green Bay as well. There are also a lot of user groups, in this virtual world. You can attend user groups all over the country, all over the world, maybe even in Portugal. And there are also a lot of user groups that are specific, not just geographically, but specific to industries or interests. Whether I believe there are now like sports related or travel related user groups, or charitable organization user groups.
Awesome.
So I want to get an idea of what type of role you have with Tableau. Are you primarily creating and publishing dashboards? Do you use Tableau primarily for data exploration and analysis? Are you on the administration side for Tableau Server, or maybe in a BI role as a data architect or a data engineer, or something else?
No server administration here.
Or it just might not be the
because,
primary, maybe not the primary.
yeah, true.
Like I'm a
Only,
I administer our server, but I
do you?
do more analysis and
Yeah.
dashboarding than I do.
Well, we have moved to the cloud, and there's much less server administration to do there. All right. Okay.
Well, let's go to the next one. So we're interested in knowing whether or not you utilize or have been implementing any extensions or APIs into your Tableau workbooks. Maybe it's something that you've already done, or you're aware of it and have looked into it, or would like to do it, or perhaps it's not something that you're really aware that was even available with Tableau, or would like to know more. And I think we're gonna learn a little bit about that later in the agenda.
Okay. This looks like very good opportunity to learn about extensions here. Okay.
And specifically, or in particular, do you have a current need or interest in write-back functionality in Tableau?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This is great.
This is great. And I suspected that not a lot of people knew, or because if they did, I feel like we'd be talking about it a lot more. All right.
All right, so for the next couple of questions, just want to, as we start to think about 2024, we'd like to just get a sense from the group what your preferences are for our meetings. In this case, this question, we just want to know, would you prefer to meet in person? And would you prefer to meet remote? Or if we had the ability to do both, have in-person meeting and somehow broadcast for remote participants, we could do a hybrid meeting. So it looks like remote or hybrid is
Yep.
the preferred for now. We did have an in-person meeting earlier this year at the Milwaukee Yacht Club. It was a great venue. It was a really picturesque venue.
It's
We were
beautiful.
meeting and looking at the lake and all of the boats, all the sailboats that were at the yacht club. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was great. We had but this poll says it all. We didn't have a huge turnout. I think people love remote. We were also around a holiday. I'll note we're also around a holiday today.
So let's go to the next question. Kind of on that note of days, what day of the week works best for you? Is there a particular day that you would prefer to meet, or does any day work? Historically or traditionally, we've had a lot of our meetings on Thursdays, like today. I think we've also had meetings on other days of the week, but primarily Thursday's been what we've done in the past.
So people like hump day or any day, which is really nice. Good flexible group.
Just not Monday.
No. And no Monday, no Tuesday. All right. Okay. Awesome.
And then finally, I think our last question here is just time of day. What works for you? Typically, and with in-person meetings, we've met in the afternoon, and then, the nice thing with that is followed up with a happy hour. And for our virtual meetings, we've been primarily meeting around the lunchtime.
Okay.
So that's good. Good feedback. A lot of you prefer the lunchtime or afternoon. Morning, I would probably agree with not doing it in the mornings.
Yeah. No Monday morning for sure. Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you for participating in our poll. This is good information to have. And I think that was the last question, Olga. So
awesome.
Back to you.
Thank you. Okay. So let's bring out the team. We are going to hear from the Right Back team. They are in Portugal. I snagged some pictures from some pictures that they had posted from the most recent Tableau conference. They were there. I hope to be at the next Tableau conference as well, and hopefully presenting Right Back and what we've done and just how we've been able to really expand what we can offer using Right Back. So I will now, I'm going to turn it over to the Right Back team. So we have Ricardo, Bruno, and Andre are going to walk through and let you know who they are, what they're doing, and we'll also see a demo of Right Back. So Bruno, I will let you go ahead and share.
Okay, thank you for that. I can share already.
Yeah, so we would like to thank everybody for the opportunity to be here on the user group, the leadership team, and in particular Olga. It's a pleasure to be here. Okay, and so I'm Ricardo Pires. I'm the product manager for Whiteback, and we also have here Bruno, that it's more on engineering and support team, and also Andre, that is leading our business development. Okay, and like Olga said, we'll be doing a quick presentation, and then we'll be showing you the product and with the demo, and you'll get to see how we typically show it. And then Olga will also show her use case, so you actually get to see it in action on a real use case. About the product itself, we'll go into the details. So the name says much about the functionality. It's write-back, so it allows us to write to the database. And we launched the product in 2020, so it's been almost 3 years. We already have more than 80 customers, and it has been a very interesting ride because it allows us to talk with many organizations that already use Tableau and are quite interesting in using this functionality. And we'll also show some of these logos, but I think it has been amazing so far. Yeah, and that's the thing. So I'm pretty sure that we are all here and we all love using Tableau. And that's also our experience. So we have been using Tableau for, I would say, about 10 years. And Tableau is amazing when we want to make analytics, discover the information that is behind our data and make it show it off. It's really amazing. But sometimes we actually have more actionable use cases, and they can be many different from each other, and that's what we have been seeing across all these organizations. So write back is the functionality that allows us to put the data behind the scenes on the database from the users, but we have seen this across different business use cases, and it can be forecasting, commenting. Sometimes you don't have the most accurate data and you want to push it or correct it. So these are the use cases that we have seen across the board. And this was a common issue. And the thing is, the solutions that you have just with Tableau, they are not really amazing. Okay. So if you are not using any extension, typically these are the scenarios that you'll be covering with an Excel spreadsheet. But the problem is the users have to get out of the context. They need to go fill in the timesheet and then get back to the analysis on Tableau. So you get out of the flow in terms of the analysis. And the thing is, even in terms of auditing, security, this is really a big nightmare because somebody can accidentally um, fill in the wrong input or the wrong row, or maybe they can accidentally delete the file. So there's a lot of things that you need to take into consideration when using a solution like this, and it clearly isn't the best approach most of the times. The alternative, or another possible alternative, is to have a separate tool just for that type of inputs. And there are many good tools for, I can remember, budgeting, stuff like that. But these tend to be really complex, and you kind of lose the agility that you want to have when you are creating your Tableau dashboard, and you just need that specific input that will solve your actionable use case. So having a big separate tool that you have to go to procurement and buy it, and it's only for a specific use case, it kind of limits your agility. And that's exactly why we built this extension, and we have been using it with many different organizations. Imagine that you could simply make a configuration, establish directly a form on your dashboard, and capture that information directly from the dashboard to your database. And that's exactly what Bruno Gomes is going to show on the demo. And like Olga said, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. We'll then have time to answer this. Yeah. Go ahead, Bruno.
Thank you, Ricardo. So yeah, we'll definitely get into the use cases that Ricardo was just talking about. And good morning, everyone over there, or good afternoon if it's your lunchtime. We'll jump right into seeing how write-back works within the Tableau context. For today's meeting, I'm gonna be using Tableau Desktop just because it's easier to show around the worksheets, data sources, and everything should that be necessary. But the write-back experience is pretty much the same across Tableau Desktop or Tableau Server or Tableau Online when using it on the browser. I'm going to go through the most common use cases, as I said. I'm going to leave one of them out for later for our colleagues here at Waterstone to explain the commenting in specific. But starting right at the top, we're going to go with the update existing data example, which actually comes across more than you think of, where people actually see a report like this, where they have some accompanying visualizations, some graphs, some maps. But the key thing is that a lot of the times we just use tables just to see a big list of everything that's happening for the month, for the year, for a particular line of products. And that's exactly what we have here. So we have a list of products with their order date, and that represents essentially the amount of orders that they took for that month. How many of those products got ordered? What's the profit, and what was the sales? The hypothetical scenario in here is that we are using, let's say, an automated system to generate these values, but then we have like a financial reporting at the end of the month that gives us the actual values at the end. And we can make some adjustments to these values exactly to make them correct for data correction. Um, and we do these through WriteBack. A lot of people come to us in asking exactly how they can do this with Tableau. They see our name and they jump in right into, okay, so this is something that I can use in the dashboard to get that that input, right? That we could not have until now with directly on Tableau without extensions. So to do so, I already have WriteBack over here to the right configured, and I'm going to initially show you the perspective of an end user. So someone that would come into the dashboard and effectively use WriteBack on their daily tasks or monthly tasks, whatever it may be in the pipeline. And the first thing they would need to do is exactly the login. So typically, you'd connect right back to your company credentials, so the login would be seamless when using right back on your dashboard. It wouldn't. It's not like something that's going to be popping up every time you come into the dashboard. Once you log in here, you're good to go for the rest of the dashboards. And we can also implement single sign-on, for example, when the browser you log into Tableau, then you log into WriteBack automatically. So we have a lot of flexibility in configuring authentication and authorization processes on WriteBack to control access. So that's always a key thing on WriteBack. It's as secure as we can make it in terms of auditing everything and keeping the platform secure. And once the user goes into it, we have access to the dashboard, or sorry, the form, the actual form that you're going to use to input data on this particular dashboard based on the data that we're seeing. So at this point, I'm now ready to start working on the data. I can select any number of rows that I want to, and I can see right back over here counting how many marks I've selected, exactly like Tableau shows me down there. But in this particular use case, what makes sense is just adjusting a line in particular, right? So because I don't want to adjust all of these values at once, otherwise they would all get the same value. What I want is to select a particular product. And let's say I want to adjust the quantity. Let's jump these up to 10, the profit about 25, and the sales, let's go up to 50. And saying these are new values from the financial review. And as you can see, the comment field popped up after I filled the values. That's one of the WriteBack features that we can have to conditionally show certain fields based on the condition being met, okay? And gives us that flexibility to create more dynamic forms if necessary. After submitting the entry, right away it goes to our database. Okay, so WriteBack always writes data to a database, and we enable the function on WriteBack or functionality to trigger an auto refresh of the data source, allowing us to right away get the feedback of what we just submitted within the dashboard. So if I were to quickly show you the data source, I'm showing here the two tables, my source of data and the WriteBack data, connected together on the key fields that WriteBack is also writing to the database. And because I'm setting a live connection, when I submit something on WriteBack and I have that auto refresh functionality on, I get instant feedback on my visualization with that data that I just entered. Of course, behind the scenes, I have some calculated fields to show the correct information. essentially, and I can also show these really quickly. I have three sets of three calculated fields for the three columns that I have available to provide values. So essentially, the quantity, the profit, and the sales are all calculated fields. If I go here, I can show you just one example. They are pretty much the same, but just the actual field changes. Where what I'm doing is checking if there's write back data, and if there is, then I get, or sorry, if there isn't actually, because I'm looking if it is null, I show the original value. Otherwise, if write back data exists, I jump into the write back data and show it accordingly. Then I'm adjusting as well the little check mark to indicate that there's write back data with just another calculated field. So as you can see, it's pretty straightforward. It's just like working with any other data. And it's just that it's going to sit on a separate table that you then use to join with your source data and see this visualization together within Tableau. So jumping on to another use case for now, I'm going to skip over the commenting again. The commenting actually tends to be the most common one. It's quite interesting. That does allow for very dynamic and well.
Actually, Bruno,
Yeah,
if you want to go over the commenting, that's okay. The use case that I'm going to talk about is just some data cleanup. So if you want to,
okay.
that's fine.
Sure.
Yeah.
I just don't want to go
No,
over your presentation, just to be sure.
yeah, no problem. So
Okay.
I'm pretty new at it, and mine are not going to be as pretty. So please share what you have.
No problem. And thank you for that. So yeah, just I can quickly go over, so there's not much of overlapping there. But um, in terms of commenting, I want to touch on these, and then I'll go lean more into this one a little bit on the top here. We actually have two write back scenarios in here, and this would be in line, I believe, with what is more common within write back, where people just click in here and provide a comment or um, assess multiple actions at the same time. For example, if let me see in here, this is an order list that we have some orders that need cleaning up. For example, this one, we're both shipped late with quite some time. I can say right away that we need to look into this, for example, and provide a priority. This is a custom list that you can define within the write back context, and then right away submit this information. Just like before, we get that update right away in our visualization, and within writeback, we can continue to work on the next one. This is just to show you that we can work with multiple marks at the same time, of course, provided we want to get the same value across them. And if at any time I need to make a change, writeback keeps a history of that, and we can just quickly go there and modify. Let's say I wanted to change the priority, I could just quickly do so. Or if I made a mistake and I just want to delete it, I can also get it out. And you always are secure in the sense that this is not affecting your source data because it's right into a separate table. So that's always a good benefit of having writeback too. So the one that I want to focus more in terms of showing a different commenting perspective is for more formatted text, where we can provide, just like any rich text editor, you can customize the text, like providing bullets, some ordered lists, colors, customization, and everything, and then show it directly within Tableau with contextual information. So I've made a couple of submissions across the the preparation of this demo, where I can see by changing around the filters, I dynamically have some analysis that was made for that particular quarter. So next, and to go over more use cases as possible, um, before the Olga presentation, we're going to go to the forecasting example, which, while not as common in writeback, we do have a lot of forecasting requests too. because working with numbers is essentially the main thing on Tableau, right? We want to see how things are going to affect the future or how we're doing, and it's not to say that this use case is specific just for forecasting, but we can apply it to any other use cases. We have customers that use it for scenarios that we didn't even think it would be used for. That's just to give you the flexibility that Writeback has. So this particular case allows us to to configure Writeback in a way that we will be submitting values across a particular dimension. So this means that for the country that I have selected, I can see the 12 months of the year that I'm working on. And in this particular case, it's like a yearly forecast that we do, for example. And then I have some KPIs and some uh, analysis values that we can provide for that particular country. Across the months, I can provide the values just like I would do in any other table tool like this. And if I just want to make some adjustments and submit a new forecast for the upcoming year, I'll just go in here, set my values, and just like before, I submit the values, they get stored in my database. Everything gets updated. The new values over here got updated, and I can move on. Next time I go in, the value is already there as well. I can go to the next month, or I can do all of them at once. So the key thing and the main difference from the forms that we saw before is that we configure it as a table in the sense that we put our inputs as rows, and our like at the dimension that we want to work on. Would it be months? Would it be products? Would it be any line of business that there's in place would go on our columns. And lastly, but certainly not least, and it's one of the latest additions to Writeback, which just added this year or last year. It's getting a lot of traction, which is the data grid. And that's exactly going back to one of the points that Ricardo mentioned in the introduction, where a lot of people are very used to Excel and wanting to work with Excel data or Excel formatted visualizations. And we tend to see Writeback applied to a lot of visualizations that look exactly like this, where there's a table and people are migrating from Excel to Tableau or in the transition period. So they want to make that transition easier for the end users, and they tend to request this a lot for for Writeback. Okay, so and what I mean by this is that we can bring this type of visualization into Writeback to provide a more dynamic way for the users to input um, into their views, or rather into the tables, but then have that in their views. So whatever I select in here, I can bring into Writeback, and I can then, for example, copy and paste from Excel, which is a feature that a lot of people have been asking and want to have that. So they open that Excel, provided, of course, it has the same format like profit, sales, status, comment. They can just copy and paste into here and provide that value right away. One other thing is that before, when I selected multiple ones, for example, in this case, when I select multiple ones, if I do a submit like this, the value is going to affect all of them. And I don't really want these on a numeric value or on a numeric use case. In here, whatever I select, I can just provide the individual values across and have individual lines, but then submit them all at once, which is very good for the copy and paste action that we have available. And as you can see, I'm just typing some random values over here that I can then submit. Goes into my database right away without a refresh. We also get the new values in here as well, just exactly what I have in there. But now these are the ones from the Writeback table. So if I select a different one that doesn't have profiles yet, and I'll just select these ones again, I can see what's there. I can make changes. I can modify. I can even delete the values. But they were just inserted by Writeback on a very easy way. One last thing I wanted to touch about in terms of functionalities and how to use as an end user is that we can also get a template file like this and this is available for the entirety of the screen. So it's available in here too, as well as in the pop-up window. Okay. It's the bulk upload option to get a template. That's the first thing we do with this entry over here. Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly save the file in here in my Tableau folder. Okay. Oh, there we go. If these were here, yeah, that's good. Okay, let's save it there. And just to give you the perspective of what this looks like, just gonna quickly open that file for you. So bringing it in, this is what the file would look like. Essentially, the same structure that we have in there. So the country, the state, the profit, sales, status, and comment. And then we can quickly fill it out with whatever values we need. Once we fill it out or copy it from other files that we may have available for these, we just then upload the file in here, just like you would do any other insert feature, and it would look exactly like what we have in here. Yeah, and that's a great feature to do like an initial insert. We have, for example, people that are bringing right back in on a later day or on a later phase of the project, but want to have that data from the past already in writeback, so they just do this bulk insert right away. And then whenever you go into the writeback for that particular mark, you already have the mark in here. So we can modify it instead of just bringing it in the writeback. So this gives you some flexibility in that regard too. Lastly, I think still on time. I'm just going to quickly show how to bring writeback into the dashboard. And if you never use an extension, there's this extension object over here when using the dashboard configuration view. And after bringing it in, you're greeted with the Tableau extension pop-up, where because writeback runs within your infrastructure, you're going to access the local extensions. And from there, you're going to provide your T-Rex file so you can load writeback into the dashboard. The T-Rex file is the file that Tableau calls to the extensions files to bring extensions in. And after you bring it in, if you're already logged in, like I am, you just start configuring it and defining how you want your writeback to look like. So to configure, you first need a worksheet. So that's where writeback is going to look for to get the data to associate with the comment or with the values that you're entering. And the values that you want writeback to read, you can select them from here. So if I was doing something by country, like a commentary by country, for example, I could just leave the country field and would say that these are my comments by country. Then I would have my comment field that would be a text. I could, as you can see, have a numeric, dates, a predefined. The predefined I used in the commenting use case for the dropdown with the options. I can have rich text as well, whereas we saw two in the other commenting scenario with the bullets and colors and everything. And you can have as many fields as you need. You can have them linked with conditions, as I showed you in the previous example. We can have field validations, so we can limit it to a specific pattern, specific length, whatever you need. And there's some additional settings that we saw in place, like the Tableau view for the forecasting, the data grid view for the data grid. We saw the auto refresh in place. A lot of customization that we have available to make it as flexible as possible and also customizable. In here, we can change the title, the colors, the a lot of customization that we have. And after you do submit your configuration, the write-back table will be created in your database, and that's the table that write-back will use to store your entries. So because I configured it for the sales map, I now click on the sales map to get the countries that I want. And then I can see that I'm going to submit a comment for the 3 selected countries. So let's just say that this is my new table, and submit right away. We get a comment for each of the selected countries. Based and I can show this right now. I forgot to mention earlier, all the write-back actions are audited, so you'll get the username captured in your database too, so you always know what the user is performing within your write-back dataset. Okay, and that's pretty much it for my demonstration. Everything I wanted to show in terms of the how write-back works.
Okay.
Um,
Hey, Bruno, I'm
okay.
wondering if we could take a few questions while you're in, looking at the application.
Sure,
And
sure.
so let me see. So Patty is asking a couple of things. So she's saying, is this only meant to overwrite, or can you enable an adjustment register to track changes? And then along with that, she's asking, what if you have multiple users updating values? Which one is shown? Only the latest update? So maybe you could address that.
So is that the latest question in the Q&A?
Oh, so there, I guess Patty's was the first, and then she had another one loaded.
Okay, okay. I think
So,
I can see
yeah.
this. Yeah.
Do you want me to step in and help with that? Because I was seeing the question before.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Sure, sure. Go ahead.
Easier. Yeah, about the first part of the question, updating and versus annotating, we actually have a feature on the product where we can enable only to have one entry per row on the visualization, or you can have multiple entries. So you can actually establish both use cases, annotating a value and even having multiple annotations, and potentially replacing, which is a technique that Bruno has shown that combines unique entries with the formulas on Tableau that for the end user it shows as if it was being replaced. About the second part of the question and having multiple users. So what's going to happen is if the users concurrently change the value, it will be stored on the database sequentially. It will be kept on the auditing table, so you know exactly who did what at which second. Okay, but the latest entry will prevail if you have unique entries. Okay, if you have multiple entries, they will show up sequentially on the timeline. Yeah, but it never is an issue.
Yeah. And we so you I guess we at Waterstone we use it to make sure that we have the latest and greatest, the best information. So it may change 3 times, and we will choose to show what is active. We also love to have it to be able to go back and audit and see what changes have been made and who made them. In fact, because you have the user. So we have a couple of other questions that focus on basically uh, they want they'd like to know what type of database. Is it Snowflake, SQL? Can this be in the cloud and on a web server?
Yeah.
And let me see if the latest one is it just in Tableau desktop? So I'll let you go ahead and address. So I guess where does it get written back, and what are the options?
Yeah, so typically writeback will run side by side with the Tableau server. So we already provide the installer like a single package that enables to run everything. And so it will be like a server on the side of the Tableau server, and that's where it's going to run. So you're on your infrastructure or on the cloud if you prefer. And these are the databases that we support. So it's going to cover on-prem databases as well as cloud technologies, bearing in mind that it's always your database. So it's up to you to configure where write-back is going to write the data. And what we usually recommend is that you should have like a specific scheme or a place where only write-back data is written, so you know for sure where everything will be. Because what happens is every time you create a form, a new table is going to be created for you, so there isn't any need for special skills. The downside of that is that you can potentially have many tables, so it's good to keep them all in one place.
Okay. Thank you. So we can, why don't we go ahead and I think hear from Andre, and then someone asked how hard is it to create this form, and I'm going to show you how easy it is because I'm going to do it for you. So after we hear from Andre.
Okay, perfect. Bruno, should I move or?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so good morning, everyone. It's great to be here. And I don't know, before we move again to Q&A part or to Olga's presentation, let me just talk you about our customers. So in the, I'm sorry, just give me a second. Bruno, can you? Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. Can move to the next one. So in this slide, you can see some logos of our of more than 80 current customers spread across 15 countries. Some of the logos we cannot show for legal reasons, but I think more than showing the size and importance of our customers in their markets, I want to leave the message that write-back makes, of course, perfect sense for large companies, but it's a product that brings value to all the segments and companies of all sizes. So we have everything from the biggest companies in the world to a dental clinic where only two people use write-back, but they have evaluated the product and come to the conclusion that the time saving, the improvements of the processes and the performance, even on a financial level, using write-back was the right choice. So don't think that write-back is only for large companies with many business units. It's not true. We are here to help you to try the product and to draw your own conclusions. So speaking now in particular about some customers. On the next slide, we have the Vanguard. Vanguard has already been using the product for almost 3 years with a more operational use case in the IT area, which saved them a huge number of working hours and effort compared to the previous business process. And we have a published success story about their use case. And it's funny because last year they presented this story at the Tableau conference in Vegas, and it was very interesting. The next one is Optum, a United Health Group company and one of the biggest, I believe, American healthcare services provider. And they are using write-back in several use cases. We also have a success story published where they explain how they manage the company's software licensing with great simplicity and success. And I think sometimes this is just what we want, to turn complex processes in something simple and intuitive. And finally, we bring the Logitech. they are very happy with Writeback, and they use it to maintain the root causes for their KPIs. So from the customer's part and from my part, I think that's it, and you can move on. Probably to answer some more questions or to Olga. I don't know.
So Bruno, I'm sorry. Did I totally cut off your presentation? Do you have?
No
were you going to go
problem.
into? Okay. Well, thank you very much. So we'll keep on. If you think of other questions, please go ahead and write them into the Q&A. But what I'd like to do now is, do you want to maybe talk
Probably
about
just
Sorry.
to show these slides, right?
Yeah.
You just skipped over this one,
Okay.
accidentally. Sorry about that. But yeah, we can leave it on screen. We have a 30-day trial available for Writeback, where you can try the full feature set of the product already in your infrastructure, and you can also try our support during that time. So that's always a good thing to get started and explore without any compromise.
That's an important slide, and I think not only is the product for Waterstone very helpful, but I think that Julia can attest to the customer service and how well it is working for us, and how quickly we are able to get any questions that we have answered. So if Bruno, if you can stop sharing, I guess let's see if maybe give them a little time here. If they're not able to scan right now, they'll just go to the website then and find out about the trial.
Yep.
Okay. All right, great. So actually I'm going to go, I will let Julia, I'll let you go ahead and share. Sorry, I do have a slide that kind of talks about what we are doing, but I'll let you introduce what Waterstone is doing. And Julia Frick is the data engineer, data architect, and everything data at Waterstone Mortgage. She and I make up the BI team. We were fortunate enough to build an incredible BI platform, but other systems needed help. So I'll go ahead and pass that over to Julia then.
Sure. Really great news is that we did that trial. And I think that one of the things that I can definitely highlight is that it was super simple, super easy. And the nicest part about it too is it allows you to dig in and you have at the same time. So even during that trial process, it was really helpful to work with Writeback team. So our initial test, I did it locally on my computer. And so I installed Writeback. It took me maybe about 20 minutes. I did the basic configuration. So if you go to the Writeback website, which I highly recommend, you'll see there's tons of information. There's user guides, there's getting started, and it'll actually walk you through both options. Like if you're doing a simple trial, you want to see how this works for you and your data, here's a simple option for you. And then it'll actually go through the advanced setup that you can do if you decide to move forward and have the product work for you. We did that. So I started out, I ran it locally on my computer, and Olga and I took a look at the power of it and decided immediately that this was something that was meant for us. As you'll see on my screen, I'm in a remote Azure box. So that's how we chose our setup. Mainly, if you think about it cost-wise, that's very effective as far as you're only using that Azure server when you're actually using it. So that's all we're paying for. And then for our setup, I know we discussed it very briefly, but we do use that same model that was discussed where we are in Snowflake. And so we have a Writeback schema. And within that Writeback schema, you can see we have, plenty of these tables. We have plenty of data that's coming up. Things that were discussed earlier, you'll see, there's going to be multiple records for, if we're keeping track of changes. And so as a data person, I love this where even if you don't want to have it visually on the screen for people in the actual Writeback Tableau screen, you can still come and see when were these changes made, who were making these changes. You have a whole audit history of all that data that's being adjusted. And just lastly, I just wanted to kind of show just the, the actual managing process of this. Once you have everything installed, you can see this is a highly compatible tool as far as just going in. You can have multiple sites. You can have, and when I'm saying multiple sites, so if there's something specific that you want customized for this marketing team, and they say they want to come in and they want to have different logos, so you can set up a simple file that you're going to bring in as an extension that Olga will show you, but it can be customized to each team, to each department that you're working with, and just overall just showing you the user friendliness of this. Something as simple as you can just see, you're using WriteBack. So once you have your configuration, you get to the point where you can literally just pull a file and then start using it within Tableau.
Awesome. Okay. I will go ahead and share my screen and we'll get back to the presentation here. Okay. All right, so let's get to, oops, sorry. Okay, so here is my take on WriteBack. So let's say the smaller dog is WriteBack. The other dog is everything that it brings. So it's a small extension, maybe a small enhancement, but the opportunity that it opens up and the impact for us is great. It allows us to do many things that we were not able to do. And let me bring up some examples here. Okay. I apologize. 1 second here. Okay. I just have a very simple presentation, and then I would like to take you and create a form quickly. Spreadsheets, need I say more? This is really going to be helpful when you may not have all of your data in a system that's accessible. And I think it is going to put the people that, there are certain people in corporations that maybe really love their spreadsheets and are not sure what they're going to do without them. And as you've seen, having the information in WriteBack through a Tableau dashboard, it almost mimics the spreadsheet for this person, but gives them so much more. So as we move people away from having information stored in spreadsheets to having information stored in Snowflake, and maybe eventually having that information fed out to other systems so that we don't have to do manual entry anymore. That's a very good bridge to have, to give people a sense of you still own this. You can still, see what's going on. If there are any other users, you're going to be able to see what they're doing. So it is a very good bridge to get you through to the other side. Another problem that we have is no one really understands us. So Julie and I are a group of 2, and we have brought the concept of data management and data governance to the company. Otherwise, many, there's a system for finance. There's a system that marketing uses. Operations uses a whole different system. And of course, they are trying to bring the information together to be able to present the data in a way that people can see what's really going on. People can see the same information. There's this one source of truth. And we have attempted to use certain structures from different applications, but nothing just fits what exactly we need for reporting for business intelligence. So what we have to do in some instances, and I'll talk about our organization structure. So we have branches. Then there is a hierarchy where under each branch, there may be a number of satellites. And the different areas of the company look at this differently. Sometimes the hierarchy looks like physical locations because people have to know where assets are located. Sometimes it looks like the location where they're licensed in because of taxes or so on. And so what Julie and I, one of the first things that we've implemented is we were able to take at least the cost center structure for branches and the satellites that go to the branches, the people that belong to the satellites, and so on, from one of our systems. And then we have used right back to enhance that information with some simple data, like the division, which division is the branch in, that doesn't have a system home. We're able to add that information in and not only have that information available for us to report on automatically and to immediately bring in to our dashboards, but now we also have a vehicle to share that information to everyone else. So instead of everyone manually looking up, well, what division is this branch in? And let's, get a solution or a report out here. Now we have a place where we can share it with everyone that needs that same information. All right. There are other and I'll show you a little bit about the branches and what we've done, but there are other use cases that there's so many that I have thought of when people say it's audit time. We need to send a list of all the users out to the branch managers, and they have to tell me, is it okay? Are all these people okay? So there's time spent getting the list together, getting it into Excel documents, sending it out to everybody, asking people to please respond, and then processing the information, where I'm thinking of right back and I'm envisioning branch manager logs into the dashboard. We have row level security and they can see certain information. They can see their employees and literally check off the employees that should have a certain type of access. So I think that alone is a time saver. This is a place where you can use your creative mind. If anybody, I don't know if you're like me, but every now and then someone had said, I don't need your creative mind right now, but this definitely is a time to use it. Something else is the ever-changing business rules. We have a dashboard that is a branch manager dashboard, but sometimes sales managers need to see it. And I think there is an LO that goes there. So there isn't a very good way to say, this is the role, and these are the people that should have access. We're envisioning that we may have a dashboard, and we could have the branch manager or someone else be able to manage the users that will have access, or be able to manage permissions as far as, what can this person see. So although we'd love to have the rules that can be followed at all times, there's definitely going to be ever-changing business rules. And this gives the people opportunity to make that change if commissions are changing quickly. Another place that I believe this is helpful is when business changes quickly. We're in the mortgage industry and things can change quickly. We might have a process that either is going to be short-lived, or it just happens so quickly that we can't get the system that we'd like to be enhanced to be able to handle a process up and running right away, or it's not worth making the change because the process is short-lived. As an example, there's a verification of an employment that is done through the normal process of a mortgage. And during COVID, we had to add more processes to check once again before the loan closes. And it was something that needed to be done quickly. And so we were able to bring in all the loans that required another review into a Tableau dashboard. The manager of the group was then able to use a drop down and assign each loan to someone on the team. That person then got that loan in their Tableau dashboard list and was able to make the call, put in the date they made the call, and the process was taken care of. So, in accounting, there's going to be many adjustments that they need to make. I don't know what they do there. It's very special, and I work with them often, but there just are times when they have to be able to present something differently, and Right Back is going to be a game changer there for us. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and I'm going to show you a very quick view of something that we have put together. This should look familiar. It is a list of data that comes from a table that we have that is standard, that is pretty well set for our organization. But what we don't have is proper names. The names are different in different systems. They might have a dash Minnesota or comma Minnesota. So we use Right Back in order to give an updated name. And then we have the rules in the background. When we bring in the information about the branch, just as Bruno stated, if there is information in the Right Back field, use it. If not, use the other. We have a file that we run and we pull in certain satellites. We have a flag to say, should we pull this one in or not? Term dates are something that was missing, and a few other items that we've added. The changes show up immediately and we can use them. And I'm going to do one more item and then we can have some fun with trivia. Or answer more questions that you have here. So I've just created a very, very simple table. I am going to go ahead and, I apologize. I'm going to go actually to my desktop. I have a very simple dashboard with a few branches, satellites, and some names. I am going to publish this workbook. We use the cloud and embedded. Okay. And bring up that dashboard. I am going to build a form quickly, show you how easy it is. Going to edit. I'm going to bring in the extension. And I know I'm going to use all of the fields in the in the table that I'm going to use as my base. I'm going to name it WB new branch table. I I know that the names are going to have to be fixed, so I'm going to have an update names field. This is going to be text. And then, as I mentioned, the division is not in a system right now. I'm going to go ahead and create a division field. It's going to be predefined. We're going to give it an east and a west value. I am going to do a data grid view, which is going to look like a spreadsheet. Familiarity. I'm going to ask that the dashboard be refreshed immediately. Here's the data source that's going to be refreshed. And I am going to look for the unique entries. So it's going to give me the most recent entry. I'm going to submit. And there you have it. Apologize. Okay. So I built it. I think I might have some issues that I have to work out here. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to update Sedona. Actually, this has happened before. They were in Sedona. They have moved. We're now going to call this Scottsdale. Oh, we're going to call it and I know I'm going to have to assign it to a region. After we submit, the data is going to go into the write back database. I'll then make sure that I go into the data source. I'm going to bring in that write back table. I'll connect it. And then I'll be able to pull out the tables and we'll be able to see the changes real time. I'm sorry, pull up the fields. And I have had a little problem with my computer today, so I'm going to wrap it up here. But if anyone is interested, you can definitely call me and Julia. But I would suggest to go ahead and to get the 30-day trial and see if it works for you. Okay, so I am going to bring this back here. Very quickly, I'm going to go through the upcoming events. The Madison Tug is going to have a whole lot going on December 5th. There is a data meetup at Continuous Technologies for data-driven culture. The Alteryx user group. We are going to have a holiday party in January. Wisconsin Tug already set for January as well. And Data Career Summit, if you haven't been able to listen there, please tune in February. And there's also a Milwaukee Snowflake user group that is tentatively also going to be having a meeting in January. I will see if we have some time here, but first I'd like to thank the Write Back team. So thank you so much for the presentation and the information on the trial. And if there are any more questions in the Q&A, oops, I'm so sorry. Ooh, okay. We will go ahead and address that.
Yeah, there was an additional question.
Okay.
I think you ended up answering because
Okay.
you shown right back on the Tableau server.
Okay.
Yeah, so it works across Tableau Cloud, Tableau server, or the desktop. So no need to acquire any additional Tableau licenses. You can use it straight away.
Yeah.
And there was also a question about the template. I believe this was related with the Excel template. So whenever you provide the data is provided at the level that you have chosen. on writeback, so the fields that you have selected from Tableau. So it's up to you to decide at what level you submit information. Olga was showing at the satellite level, but you can pretty much choose your own granularity. And then if it's not the lowest level, you can use the relationships in Tableau to connect the tables, even if they are not at the most granular level. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. I hope that you check it out. I know that for us, it makes an incredible difference. Randy, did you want to go ahead and do a look?
Let's do it. So
okay, let's do it.
Yeah. So you need to stop sharing your screen so that I can
stop
share
sharing.
mine. And we're going to do trivia. And this is going to be lightning round since we only have 10 minutes left. So get ready. So we're going to use Kahoot to play. So you're going to go to www.kahoot.it. And then you're going to put in this pin. So if you could do that, we're going to, again, like I said, we're going to make this really quick. And Olga, you're seeing my Kahoot screen, right?
Yes, we're seeing your Kahoot screen.
Again, this is going to be a very quick round. We've got 20 questions and we only have like 10 minutes left. The winner of the trivia will get a prize. At the end, whoever's the winner at the end, I'm going to need you to send me a message, a direct message on this platform is fine, with your email address. And then I'll reach out to you via email with, some questions in order to send you a nice little package. And then after trivia here, I think we are also going to pick some giveaway winners from the folks who asked questions of our awesome presenters today. So thank you to everybody who asked questions. You're in the running to win a prize. So Mark, I'm hoping that, right at the end here, you're going to have those names for us so we can hopefully keep this meeting on time. And I think the last little announcement that I will kind of make while I have everyone's attention is that, we are looking to expand the leadership team for the Milwaukee Tableau user group. So either email us at mketug@gmail.com, or you can just direct message any one of us on Bevy on this platform as well. That is also totally fine. But with that, we have 11 people who have decided to enter this trivia challenge. Let's get started. So on my screen, it's going to be the question. On your screen, you'll see the potential answers. So the first question is, how many Tableau community members are recognized as Tableau visionaries, including the Hall of Famers? And we have 20 seconds on the board. So, wow, everybody answered really fast. The correct answer is 66. So including those Hall of Fame folks, of which there are 16, and then there's 50 visionaries, we have a total of 66. So good job to the folks that got those three right. And our leaderboard. So you get points for not only correct answers, but also the speed in which you answer. So these folks all got it right, and Danny was fastest. So let's move on to question 2. Which Tableau public author is number 1? Based on the number of favorites. In this photo is of a dashboard tracker to see who is the favorite. All right, everybody, lots of people got that right. It is, in fact, Andy Kriebel, who I believe he was started Makeover Monday. So Yeah, and this little, U up here in our favorites might have been a giveaway. But let's go on to the leaderboard to see whether that changed. Okay, Danny's still in the lead. We've got Karen coming up into second place. Well done. Let's go on to question 3. Which of the Tableau community projects runs twice per month? So lots of awesome Tableau community projects. Makeover Monday happens every Monday, so 4 times per month. Back to Viz Basics happens twice a month. So let's see whether that changed the leaderboard. Danny's still up there. Vancouver rising to 3rd place. So great job. Let's go on to the next question. This is a true or false. Tableau Public has more than 3 million profiles. Everyone nailed that, and in record time. Great job. Karen, correct answers for the last 3 questions. Well done. Let's see whether, I will say, I have been in the lead before in trivia and then had it stolen away from me in the last few questions. So don't get too comfortable. But I'm just saying, my point is that don't give up. It's anybody's game. Let's go on to the next question. Another true or false. Tableau Public has a Hire Me button. Ooh, I was really hoping for another perfect answer, but still, most of you got it right. This is relatively new. So yeah, you can actually put on your Tableau Public profile, Hire Me. So if you're looking to do some like freelance work, or maybe you're between jobs, it's a really great tool. So let's see. All right, we have Karen now in first place. But also like Vancouver answer streak of 4 correct answers all the way. Great job. Let's see whether any of this changes with the next question. So we're only a quarter of the way through. We've got 20 questions to go. So let's see what question 6 is. How many sheets have been used by this dashboard? Yeah, I would have guessed the same thing, which is that every column of information or every header was its own sheet. But in fact, it was all done in a single sheet, which is pretty impressive. All right, we do have some movement on the leaderboard. Again, anything can happen, so really exciting. Let's go on to the next question. Sankey diagrams are soon going to be needed. Everyone got it right. Well done. Sorry, I realized we are coming up on time, so we're going to keep moving through this fast. True or false? Tableau cannot connect to files and share Google Drive. Ooh, false is the right answer. So it's a bit of a trick question. Tableau cannot. That is false. So Tableau now can connect to files on a shared Google Drive. It was recently a released feature. All right. Jay, coming up. Let's see what the next question holds. Who wrote the Big Book of Dashboards? No peeking. If you have it on the bookshelf behind yours. The correct answer, Steve Wexler, Jeffrey Schaefer, and Andy Cotgreave. So. Ooh, we've got some movement. It's exciting times. Let's move on to the next question, true or false. In Tableau, it is not possible to replace a data source per sheet. And this one also kind of tricky because it was a recently released feature. You now can replace a data source for a single sheet. I want to say that was released earlier this year. So kind of exciting. All right. Let's see. We're halfway through. Hopefully you all can stick around a little bit longer. I'm going to go as quickly as we can here. All right. Next question. Which of the below is not an existing Tableau feature? The correct answer is support chat within Tableau Cloud or within Tableau Server. That does not currently exist, but wouldn't that be nice? All right, we have some movement. Really exciting to see new people entering this the top 5 here. Again, anything can happen, so keep answering those questions quickly and accurately. On to the next one. What does the Workbook Optimizer help with? It exactly helps with performance optimizations. So you can access that from the server menu within Tableau Desktop. All right, a little bit of change. Next question is true or false. Tableau Cloud or Tableau Server has a dedicated space called private space for people with creator licenses. Yeah, so this was another trick question. The correct answer is false because it's called personal space. Isn't that just like a shady written question? Yeah. But let's see who caught that. Maybe you got lucky because you knew it was called personal space. Maybe you got lucky because you didn't know it existed. But yeah, it does, and it's called personal space. Next question is true or false. Consumers can create alerts to receive notifications when a value is greater than or less than a threshold. And the answer here is false. I don't remember why. It's like it can't be both things, I think was the way the question was written. Anyway, I'm sorry. This was totally bad on my part. I think the question is poorly worded. So let's just pretend like we're all winners. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for being kind with that kind of crappy question there. We do have a few more to go, so hopefully everyone can catch up. Next question is also true or false. Tableau offers free online training in preparation for the specialist certification. And the answer is true. So you can get actually free training for that specialist certification. Let's see if that's changed anything. We've got more points, but not a lot of shakeup in the leaderboard. Next question, which of these are not a Tableau file type? Correct. The correct answer is TBX. So I don't know what TBX is. A TBM, I had to look it up. It's a Tableau bookmark file. So you can actually send somebody just a single tab of your Tableau workbook, and that's called a bookmark. Huh, funny, huh? I had to look it up. So everyone got it wrong. No change in the leaderboard. How many plus signs are on the Tableau Spark? Yeah, I'm definitely not going to give the actual image of the Tableau Sparkle. That would seem too easy. The correct answer is 9, and this is also a question I validated, unlike apparently the one from a few questions ago. There are 9 little plus signs on that sparkle. I wonder how we would do in like a drawing contest if we were playing Pictionary or something. Like, how good would people do? Leslie, I think, knows what's going on, so good job. Let's go on to the next question. Which of the below is not a way of combining data in prep? Relationships, correct. That only exists in Tableau desktop. You have to do kind of more traditional ways of bringing data together if you're using Tableau prep. So let's see. Cool. We've got some new scores. Let's go on to, we have 2 questions left. So there's still time to catch up. Here we go. What year did Iron Viz first run? The correct answer, 2011. Great job to the folks who got that right. Let's see whether that changed anything. Not very much. So we have a final question. True or false? Iron Viz first started as a breakout session. And everyone got that right. Let's see who got it right the fastest. So in third place, we have PRJ. Congratulations. Second place, Leslie. Well done. First place, great job. Excellent job, everyone. Thank you so much for playing. If this is you in first place, send me a direct message with your email address. I would love to send you a prize. And thank you all so much for sticking around for a few extra minutes to finish this trivia. I really did try to go as fast as I could, and you guys were excellent at getting your answers in really quickly. So next up, let me stop sharing. Okay, Olga has brought up the presentation, and we have more prizes to give away. So Olga, do you want to take it over and explain what's next there?
Yes, actually. So we have the first place winner for trivia. Mark is going to has chosen 2 people from the Q&A chat, or the Q&A participants. So Mark, if you want to let us know who the winning participants are.
Yep, just to confirm, is it 2 or is it 3 winners, Brandy, for the $30?
3.
3. Okay.
3.
All right. Well, there we go.
So, all right. So in the interest of time, I selected the winners using the wheel of names. And the winners are Norbert P, Leslie L, and Patty R. I just sent a message in the chat. So if the 3 of you could direct message Brandy with your email address, then we can arrange getting those gift cards to you. So please do that. Sorry, I got to drop off in a couple of minutes for a work meeting.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mark. So please get that information to us.
And again, it was Norbert, Leslie, and Patty.
All right. Awesome. Stay connected to the Tableau user group. All our events are going to be out there. Hopefully that's where you found this event. We have a group in LinkedIn that is active. Email us, especially if you want to be part of the leadership team. And the YouTube channel has all of our presentations. So come back and check it out again if you need to. Get those trivia questions and write them down this time. Thank you to everyone that attended, and thank you so much to the Right Back team. And we will see you in January for some fun. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.